Hello guys, this is the 18th tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we are going to talk about the for loop in Python. And the for loop in Python is used mostly to iterate over elements in a set or a sequence, right? So in this tutorial we are going to check out the for loop through a programming example, and what we're going to do is we're going to ask the user of the script to enter his or her name, and then we are going to use the for loop to count the number of vowels in the name entered, and then we're going to display the result on the output screen, right? So the first thing that I have to do is initialize a variable count to 0, right? And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm going to update this variable every time the for loop encounters a vowel in the string entered, right? So initially I want this to have the value 0, because if I don't initialize it with the value 0, then it'll have some garbage value, and I don't want that, right? And on the next line I'm going to display a message using the print statement, and this is to instruct the user that he or she is supposed to enter his or her name. So enter your name, I'll put in a colon at the end, and then I'll use the input function to get the user's input, and I'll store the string entered in the variable name, right? On the next line I'm going to type in the keyword for, right? So we are starting the for statement now, and then I'll use a variable for the loop, and I'm going to call this letter, right? You can call it anything you want to, and the life of this variable is only while the for loop is active. Once you get outside the body of the for loop, and the flow of the program moves outside for, this variable cannot be used, right? So I'm going to have the for loop, and then after typing in the name of my dummy variable, I'll type in the keyword in, and then I'll type in name, which is the name of the variable in which I have stored the string, right? I'll put in a colon, and then inside the for loop I'm going to have an if statement that's going to check whether the dummy variable's value lies in a list of vowels or not. And the way the for loop works is this variable letter is going to iterate over the different characters in the string entered. So if suppose you enter a string like Roger Federer, then this variable letter is going to iterate over the alphabets in Roger Federer. So in the first iteration is going to have the value capital R, in the next iteration it will have the value O, in the next iteration it will have the value G. So one by one it's going to go over all the alphabets in the string entered. So right, this is the beauty of the for loop. We can iterate over a list or any sequence. It can be a string or a tuple or a dictionary, right? So we can do all these things using the for loop, and in this tutorial I'm going to check whether the value of letter is in a list of vowels, and I'm going to have uppercase as well as lowercase vowels. So I'll first check against uppercase vowels, A, E, and then I, and then capital O, and then capital U, and also for small case, small a, small e, small I, small o, and finally small u. So after doing this, on the next line I'll obviously have to get a colon to get inside the if block. So we'll get in the if block only if the letter lies in this list, and if it does, then we're going to update the count variable to count plus 1. So you must remember here that the count variable here is not the control variable for the for loop, right? It's just a variable that is going to keep a count of the number of vowels encountered in the string, right? And the if statement's job is to just check whether the value that's held in the variable letter while it is iterating over the string that's stored in the variable name, if that value is in this list, if it can be found in this list. If that is the case, then it's going to update the value of the count variable. If that's not the case, then it's not going to do anything, right? And then after we've done this, I'll move outside the for loop, use the print function to display the message, you have count and then vowels in your name, right? So this is good enough. I'll save the file and I'll run it, and I see the message enter your name, and I'm just going to type in my name, that's Madhur, When I press the enter key, I see that I have two vowels in my name, and I have A and small u. And I'll run the program again with a different input, and this time I'll type in Tom Cruise. When I press the enter key, I see that there are four vowels in the name of Tom Cruise. So we have O, then U, I, and E, right? So that's it about the for loop. I hope you guys had fun watching this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we'll discuss something interesting again.